Up is Noah's.
We got 51 minutes.
All right, so
Until
no
this
way
dies.
stuff. He's not here. This stuff's.
Motion to close it.
Yeah.
Motion to go away.
Table.
No. So I'm gonna read through these. I'm gonna motion to dismiss them, but we're gonna read through them just for clarity's sake. Item 1: removal of all belts from all knights associated with Rising Winds, exception those who have passed and those who have moved out of Kingdom. Item 2: all BOD seats are now lifetime. All replacements due to retirement of a seated member will be appointed only. Item 3: the BOD should be granted a percentage use of Kingdom coffers for administrative costs as they see fit. I'm not reading fucking
Hookers and blow.
hookers and blow and pizza. So those 3 items, I'm voting. I'm gonna open up a vote to dismiss because that's silly.
Second.
Seconded. All right. All those in favor of dismissing these items?
Are we all mixed?
Are we removing the belts?
Wait, who is? I'm not a citizen. I can't vote. We're not removing the belts.
No.
We're removing the proposal.
Okay. Any
Unless
no's?
Havoc horribly tricked us, and now we just voted yes.
I mean, I just got here actually.
No,
It's perfect, actually. That's perfect, actually.
It's dismissed. That was
I didn't hear the
stupid.
proposal.
The first one was to remove all belts from all knights in the Rising Winds.
Let's talk to this one.
All right, so we have the next one from Mary.
Okay, the next one is mine. We all use the org. Yes, it's shitty. It goes down a lot, and we use AmpedWiki and like the main site ampguard.com. The team for that, they need money for that. Like one guy's been paying for the server for it, and like for the past like umpteen years, and I don't believe he even like really plays anymore. This is coming out of his pocket, and they've come to
Here.
what?
Yeah,
Rick here. They have come to the clan COM, asking for money, and they gave us a baseline budget that equals out to roughly 300 a kingdom, and that's across 20 kingdoms. I would like to send them 500 in order to help them build a better server so the AMP wiki doesn't go down. One of their plans was, Rick has brought this up to me, and I asked about it, is a potential to have like www.ampguard.com/the rising winds or something, so they could just like link it off all together. I don't know about
subdomains.
Yeah, like the subdomains. I don't know about going as far as like the parks are concerned, but who knows? But right now it's
Oh no, I don't want to interrupt. I'm just
okay.
waiting for you to finish.
But it's like they are asking for a minimum of 300 per kingdom, but Rising Winds is kind of a big kingdom. We do have a lot of money. I do have we're kind of a big deal. I do have our current numbers, pre-keep and post-keep, with me. I talked to Saladin and Katie to get some numbers, pseudo numbers. So I'm asking for 500 to help cover kingdoms that potentially can't even get the baseline 300, or to give them extra so we can get better servers, so we don't have to send up red flags across Facebook when the orc goes down.
Gendron, do you have something?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm done.
Sorry, Varl, were you?
No,
No.
the question was answered.
Okay.
Web hosting is not that expensive. Are we getting our own servers for this money? Like, is this like actual
I
physical?
believe
This
so,
is our
right?
stuff.
I actually don't know.
Because
I
if
think
this is
so.
virtual hosting, $500 is extremely heavy.
'Cause-
If it's not, that's not the case.
I believe we are getting our own servers, because right now we're running off of like a bunch of like free stuff.
Yep. If somebody's going to take $500 of our money, I would like to have an itemized, like, I want to know what they're doing with it. I want to see an actual plan to, like, a project plan.
I believe that they do have a Google Drive of like what they would use the money for. I would have to find that.
Some of it's in the clan minute meetings.
Yeah.
I'm not going to know about it. I'm just saying this would be my expectation,
Yeah, no,
what we would receive.
It does exist. I believe it's in the clan minutes meeting somewhere, and I believe somewhere in the AmpGuard Circle of Monarchs. So it's like I can dig through that.
I read the Circle of Monarchs thing. It wasn't that detailed, and that's why I'm saying, hey, we're going to spend $500. Tell us what we're getting.
Okay.
Can we get those pseudo numbers so we know what the impact will be for us?
Yeah. No, I was gonna read those off. Okay.
Oh, in the TLD things, like, we should definitely be able to get like therisingwinds.ampguard.com if we own that domain. That should be trivial.
Because I know Rickus was asking for
That's
like.
what you said on the thread, so that's nothing.
I know Rickus was asking for like individual parks, and just like not like let's go baby steps first, like that sort of thing. Okay, so right now the Rising Winds is sitting at approximately about 8,400. That is not including I'm going to be using some money. He has to send me some money for gas, and then I am eating out of my 10% the $40 from Flame Night Grill to fill up the propane. So get with Saladin on that. I already talked to him. He knows. So that leaves us at about 8,400. Then from KEEP we are estimating
700 to 1,000. However, at the end of the KEEP BOD meeting, part of what we're looking at to move to a site is the fact that we might have to move our storage unit, which would have a cost associated. So I can only rough ball you, since I don't even have everybody paid out. I believe the Kingdoms will get 600 to 1,000. That's rough, but
So-
it's at least 500.
so
Definitely
at worst
500.
we're looking at 8,900.
At best, 94.
Yes, sir.
Do we know our upcoming expenditure costs
For Hannon's, I've been trying to get. I'm the autocrat for that. I've been trying to get a hold of Paul and Jean. I believe when I last talked to them, we were projecting our expenditures to be the same as we did in March,
Okay.
where they get where we get the discounted fee.
So 58. Okay.
No, our expenditures for March, it was about. Hey, Katie, what was our upfront cost for Hannon's for March?
If you say 5,000, that covers the site fee for the couple of days and all the little extras that we've been adding on, like the kitchen usage and things like that. So 5,000 is a pretty safe number.
Cool. All right, so whatever we say after that.
That's 5,000 is for the site.
Yeah, it's for
Not
the
for
site.
the
That's
feast.
and for meals. I believe I told the Feastocrat to keep it at roughly 1,200, but do not exceed 1,500. And this does not include the bidding, like the payouts on the cabins. And that usually nets us about roughly. I think we netted something like around the neighborhood of like 2,000, if I remember correctly. I'm sorry. Yeah, something, yeah.
We bring in about $2,000 from the cabins-ish. It depends on how we do it and who all bids, but it's going to be cold, so I'm betting we'll fill all of them up.
Okay, so we're.
So we only pay out about 3,000 to the site.
Wait, how much is our gate fee now? Like 20,
No, we're
It's 30.
Yeah.
30. So if we're gonna have like around 200 people, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, November is the one where we, depending on our people coming in, we might barely break even. If it hits 180, 170, we might dip a little bit under, but those cabins do a good job of compensating.
I know for the past
We
few
run
years,
the numbers.
November has been our red event, but we're hoping with the new site, with the pay the pay for the cabins, that we can actually for this November turn it around and not have a red event, because I believe June, like, that would be our most expensive event because we had to pay full price for the entire site, and then we had all the food and the kitchen usage and everything. We still were in the black, and so I'm hoping with the way that they did March, where we also ran in the black.
I think we're getting on a tangent here. We're getting away
So, yeah,
from the
so anyway.
vote.
Yeah.
I'd like to modify the vote if I can.
Okay.
I'd like to vote right now for 300,
Okay.
and then address them and say we will vote for an additional 200 if they can give us an itemized list. $500 is it's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but it's money, you know.
Could I slightly adjust this? Because our biggest concern is whether or not we're hosting our own private servers.
Mhm.
So could we do the extra 200 if the private servers are definitely confirmed? Would that sound okay?
It's a contingency.
That's part of the list.
Yeah.
That would be
Oh,
part-
okay.
We want an itemized list of what the money's going towards specifically, and if it's private servers that we are specifically buying and using, then I don't feel like an extra $200 at November's Althing is.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I'll put it on the Althing myself for
We'll put the extra
November,
200
but
in November. Gotcha.
can we vote for 300 today and then
An additional
an
later
additional
on.
200? But we're gonna tell them about it. Like, we want to let them know we want to give you more money.
You're getting invaded by bees.
Okay, cool. Fucker. We'll go from there.
Your
Motion to vote.
Motion to vote?
Seconded.
All right, all those in favor of 300 today with a 200 caveat? 14. Any no's? Any abstains? Cool. Passes.
All right. Do we want to go over the 9 blades thing? That was just like literally an AMA.
Is that our last thing?
That's literally our last thing.
Okay,
Let's
so our last
somebody
thing
else.
is going to be 9 Blades. For those of you who aren't aware, 9 Blades is a principality in Canada, specifically Ontario. They are currently under the Kingdom of Goldenvale, and there's been a lot of discussion online in the last few months. Goldenvale has been treating them poorly for a while. So it's recently come up to us that they want to switch over, and for the most part, a lot of our active voices want them. There's not really a vote here today. We're just sort of expressing to the voting populace that this is something we want to do, and that it will be something that we are going to be looking at in November. With the principality moving over, similar to what we did with Polaris. There was a lot of online discussion in the coming months about this, but we're just going to give everyone a heads up, and we have a 9-blader here to talk a little bit about that.
A lot of you guys know me. I'm a fairly constant face at Rising Winds events, despite that it's not my kingdom. Yeah, as Catholic was saying, we do have a rather not great relationship with our current kingdom. We've been a principality for almost 10 years, and we're tired of fighting them. It's currently been put to Althing. I put it up myself that we petition the Rising Winds as a principality. There's a couple of things. Pretty much every group that we've talked to, the BOD, the COM, has all been really great with any concerns we have with transitioning. The only one really left to come to the populace is Althing's. So we've talked about a lot of the things with coming in as a complete principality. So for the most part, we will be a mostly separate entity because we already have a corpora and a board of directors, and we have all those things, so we don't have to worry about trying to build those. We have them. But because all of your Althings and votes are done in person, yes, it's a commitment thing in terms of actually getting there, but we now have a country border which separates, which for a lot of us, like I have a passport, not a problem, but to require a passport and be able to cross a country border in order to be able to vote on kingdom business, that's a bit of a barrier for a lot of our principality. We do have I guess MIGs is what you call citizens. So we have 75 MIGs, and we have another 70 that if they paid dues would be. We are a fairly large principality where we're at the point where we just need a couple of years of that last push to get to a kingdom on our own. It's got somewhere to be.
No.
And we're looking to have a kingdom that is interested in supporting us, and we've always had a great welcome whenever the A-team comes down and has fun with Keep and all the other events we come down to. Does anyone have any questions about the principality or any of the transitional stuff?
If we take you in, are we big damn heroes?
A little bit, Big Brother, like.
Were we not already?
We already
the
are
Rising
big damn
Winds.
heroes, yeah.
A little bit. Nothing else?
I don't think so. We've, as an update, because I just learned some of this last night kind of thing, XR is in contact with the lawyer who originally set up our incorporated status and things like that.
Yeah.
The lawyer would actually like to go ahead and recontact us and make sure everything's up to date, which was perfect timing for us because we're considering bringing in an entity that's over our country borders. So mostly BOD legality stuff, just because we've talked about it. Legalese wise, it's better for us as an entity to bring you in as a principality, not a grand duchy.
Yeah.
But if we have to explore that option, we can. And just if we have to start looking at bringing them as a grand duchy, we might need to actually officially pay for a lawyer to look at that takeover.
The only real difference for us in actual fact between a grand duchy and a principality is the ability to run for kingdom office.
Right.
And the reason why that's something we were fighting for in Goldenvale is because we don't get a vote, and they have extremely low numbers of people who actually run for office.
Right.
So for the past 5 years, there's only been one person declared. So if we know this person does not like the people in our principality, we have a history of they've overturned bans who have then, those people have gone and reoffended. They ignited people against the opinions of the Canadians, like they ignited Canadians against our circle. There's enough of that into play, and from what I understand from coming here is rather than having we're going to stick our fingers in your business, it's you handle your shit until there's a problem and we'll help you out. So there's less concern for me for us being able to run for your kingdom office. You're also double the size of the kingdom we're coming from, but there's less of that concern because if we're handling ourselves and you guys aren't going to be messing with our bands and you're going to be letting us handle ourselves in terms of awards and that, there's not so much of a need for us to be involved in the kingdom politics if we are actually able to run ourselves.
I'm a scatterbrained person right now. I cannot remember with Polaris. I remember they could vote on our officers because the Polaris vote was a big swing thing in
Yes.
elections.
Yes.
Can you still?
Yeah, so we cannot run for
Okay.
kingdom office, but that is the only difference
But
for
you
us
can vote.
essentially. We
You
can
can still
vote.
vote for us.
Great.
So that's the thing with voting in kingdom politics. Obviously, your elections are online, but your all things are in person, and that is a bit of an issue. The other things that we've talked about, like in terms of legalities, is putting it as legally a partnership instead of under another, because then we don't have to worry about that cross-border shenanigans.
Tax.
Your minors policy,
We're working out the kinks on that.
notarization is falls expensive for us, so
Right.
they're working on a workaround so that we have a different solution to what you guys have.
Notaries are $60 in Canada.
Wow.
Right.
Per.
So we're gonna work
Yeah,
on that.
per.
Yeah.
Per notary. So just
Yeah.
so you guys know, the
Move to
BOD is
Canada, become a
probably,
notary.
if we do go with this, the BOD is probably going to make a slightly different policy for Canada that still covers them but doesn't require a notary unless the minor is coming
Yeah.
to our events over the country.
Because as it is right now, for us to go from park to park, we would have to get a notary
Yeah.
for it, and that's
Yeah,
a little
event.
crazy at the cost that it is. So the VOD and everybody has been really fantastic at working with us, and of the concerns that we brought forward have all been answered, and I'm really excited and hoping that my principality does vote to switch over kingdoms.
Do we do any absentee voting at this point? I know it happened like years ago, but I don't think it's been an issue for years.
We haven't done absentee voting like for a while.
We haven't. We can explore the option if
That's
online
also-
all things fizzle. I would like to see all things go to online. We do everything else
There's
online.
going to be pushback.
There is.
I would say not everything be online like bannings. I think you should be able to. I think it should be like face to face.
I have a possibility on that because we could always do an in-person all things and bring up things to vote, like especially core stuff, which is mostly what we're worried
Yes.
with here.
Things that
Um,
affect us.
We could always discuss them in all thing and then say, if you need to vote now and don't have internet access, we will record your vote and then the vote will continue online for a week. So that way we could leave both options
Yeah.
open. Yes, we wouldn't have it resolved in person right there, which could still be a bee in somebody's bonnet, but it would allow for the most
It's an excellent
possible.
compromise. I
Yeah.
really like that.
I like that too.
So that'll.
The only problem with doing the way we do in-person all things right now is we count votes and we do not record individual persons.
We can start recording.
That we would have to,
That's-
but that
Right.
makes it a little bit of a problem
Okay.
because some of our all things have gotten to 30 or
Yes.
40 people, and recording down everyone's name that they vote
Okay.
in person is actually a lot harder than just doing it online.
And what we do for
Okay,
reference.
so we need to work on that a little
Yeah,
bit, but
'cause
it's an idea.
The other option that I was going to suggest, and I was thinking about writing multiple proposals for this as options, is you do it at your park locally before anything, and then those PMs record everybody, and then also allow an online. If you didn't get to vote at your park, you can also vote.
So that's what we do right now.
Yeah.
For all of our all things, we have a 2-week voting period, which means that even if you can't make a field day because you don't have internet, whatever, you will have 2 chances to vote in person at your field, assuming your park fields once a week. You will get 2 chances to vote in person, but you can also vote online at any point in that, either by sending your vote to your local or your principality, and then the local monarchs, the local chancellors collect the in-person and the online votes that they have and send it up, and then that gets sent up. So it's just sort of trickles up, and it becomes a lot less work for combining, 400 people's votes.
York.
Sorry.
Okay, so like the easiest thing to do would probably be just have a sign-in sheet at the Althing, you sign your name, and then there's check boxes for each proposal if they voted yes or no. And the person can just go down the line,
Even just putting, if you signed in as being at the Althing, you were saying that my vote happens here, and just having your name on the list, you don't have to necessarily record.
Yeah.
You voted
Yeah,
right
no,
there.
yeah.
But that way you can say you voted in person, so if you put in an online vote, it doesn't count like this. This is what counts for you, but then you don't have to record who voted what in person.
Just remember to say that.
Part of the benefit of the way we do our all things now is after the all thing, there's a semi-anonymity to some votes.
Yes.
Meaning that I don't know who didn't vote to not ban Osar.
But
And it's good that I don't know that, and I can't go look that up.
But-
And we need to have a system in place for an anonymous vote.
Why don't we just do the email
that's what
votes that we do
have.
for
That's
kingdom
perfect.
Yeah.
elections?
Yeah.
That's
They-
pretty.
they would have that
Google
option
form,
too,
something.
because any kingdom
This isn't gonna
level
like a
thing-
Facebook poll.
Yeah,
the only
recording the
person,
votes in an indelible format.
Yeah,
and I
no,
get to know who.
it
the only
It falls on
person
the
you send your
officers
vote
to
to is
maintain.
the chancellor that you send your vote to. So if you
Good.
don't like your park chancellor, you can send it to principality or you can send it to kingdom.
Perfect.
And only one person is going to see how you voted.
So I've heard something like 8 different options that we've thrown out here. So it kind of sounds like we need to make a checklist of all these choices
Yep.
and then figure out what we like about
Yep.
the different
And this
choices.
would
We'll be handling this in November, but
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to volunteer to actually start doing that.
hey, Craig, you want to do that?
I will sit down and
Craig,
collect the options.
So assuming that the principality does vote to move to the Rising Winds, we will know the week before Bridge Wars. So Bridge Wars would be, the November event would be our first event that we would be coming to you as a principality. So you guys want our votes in?
We tried to take you, Fury.
It's true, yeah.
We offered
No.
to play Phoenix League 4 for the principality.
we
No, I won them yesterday during the Canadian Ice
true.
Challenge.
Oh, that's your new story.
One of the Canadians in Kai literally held ice and salt in their hands for an hour and 10 minutes.
An hour 15.
And whoever won, if Kai won, she got the principality. And what do you know? Kai won. So it looks like we have to.
I like the stacked deck story better.
So something that I'm planning on doing just to help the transition along. Give me a second, these assassins behind me. For the November event, we have the cabins. I plan on opening a bunkhouse and a cabin 12 hours early to Canadian travelers, regardless if they're going to be with us. There's people coming down to our event.
So give them one of the bigger.
Well, I probably like the 22 bunkhouse
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like the one of the houses if they want it. I feel like 22 is more than enough, but we'll give them the option for both. 12 hours before the rest of the Rising Winds, just to give them that good faith. A lot of what we did with Polaris, was good faith showings.
And they did that for us too, by the
yeah.
way. They
Yeah.
made sure we had a cabin for our monarchy when we went.
They're
visited
excellent.
the
I've
Yes.
always
Canadian.
had a place to stay when I go to
Right.
Polaris events.
Yeah, it's-
I recommend putting some of the budget in buying some milk on bags.
It's really
Also,
weird, okay?
He was extremely confused. I did bring ketchup chips, by the way.
Those are great.
So, they're in the car.
All right,
Just to make
I
them
feel
feel
like
more welcome.
We're
Anyway.
Anyway, so wait.
Motion vote.
I'm gonna have to buy
motion to close.
No,
Wait,
wait,
wait.
hold on. Did you want to go
We're not voting
over
on
our
it.
the
No, it was mostly just your using, because they haven't voted yet technically.
or we just
Oh, okay, right. So here's our options that we're going to be exploring and addressing in November for this. So
Do you want me to read them?
yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay.
'Cause this is-
So option one, Watt suggested this, since the way we do Althing is in the bylaws, we just suspend the Kapora for X amount of minutes, vote in Nine Blades as a principality, and then we reinstate the Kapora.
And then we watch somebody cry.
And then
right?
we watch
Yeah.
we watch
gets to
veteran
cry.
I will
cry.
also cry because I'd rather just fix the problem because we keep taking in parks, so let's just fix it
But this is
instead.
still fun.
It's funny.
There was my suggestion, which if you interpret our corpora a certain way, it doesn't state anything about bringing in like larger groups than a shy or anything. So it would technically fall under the monarch to make a temporary call, and then we just fix it at an Althing. And so Trey can just scream monarch, and we get Nine Blades.
I would also like
And then
to,
Jake-
I would also
and
like
then
to
Jake
yell
Fry.
about that one because I would prefer.
Hey guys, we're going to do this right.
Okay.
Anyway,
And
yeah.
then
No,
Jake
no,
Fry.
Trey might be a little biased,
JP
so,
might
like,
whimper. He already, I cleared it with him. He goes, I don't agree with that, but I'm not going to cry. But we'll make Skippy cry.
I vote we
You
do
make
whatever
Skippy
makes
cry.
JP cry.
Off!
I actually want to put the motion, the best of both worlds.
No, no,
We
no,
make
no,
veteran
no,
cry.
no,
We're not
Skippy's,
doing cohort changes, so read the third one. It doesn't matter
Skippy,
anyway.
have the RWBOD vote them in, and so when Nine Blades does their Althing vote, in November, we will vote to let Nine Blades.
So my idea, We would need to structure our meetings properly for this. Well, no, we're fine, schedule-wise. BOD votes them in because we have to do that first. BOD has to rubber stamp them. And then we immediately go to Althing and fix the Kapora so that we can bring groups in. My idea right now is we can bring groups in at the level they are. So if you're a principality right now and you are at transfer, we can bring you in as a principality. If you are a barony right now and you are transferring over and you match our expectations for barony, we can do that. That obviously is up to, that would involve the COM at the next one, but we do the Kapora fix in November, and then we can vote them in with the COM at March, which is how our schedule has to work anyway. We can't do it all in one. They're in as a principality in 5 minutes. But that way we would stay with our schedule, we would have a fix in our Kapora because we have been taking in barony level groups and a principality and this and that. This would not apply to, hey, we're a brand new park, but we're already swinging at 20 people, we just got our contract approved, can we come in as barony? No. If you're a transfer from another area. And then that would be a Kapora change at the Althing. We don't even have to vote on this. This is just information about options.
Yeah, this is just talking.
So just to speak to
And
part
this-
of why,
Oh wait, hold on.
just to speak to part of why it's important to us that we come in, it's not so much that we care about being a barony and being able to give our own awards. Part of the requirement for Kingdom is that you have a duchy in good standing for, I think it's 2 years. So if we come in and we're shires for 6 months, that resets our clock, which means we now have to wait 2 years to have a duchy in good standing for 2 years, and then the time to bid. So it extends our timeline to be able to bid up to 4 or 5 years, whereas right now we're looking at 2 to 3. So that's the reason why we care about it, is just so that we can,
So you can leave, got it. You're
right,
gonna
so
leave
we
us.
can jump over piecemeal and then do the thing.
We are literally like we are trying to make it like
I love
hey,
that they're
like
trying to lead.
we're the mentorship, and then in like a couple years, then we kick him out of the nest. And with Skippy's proposal, she doesn't cry and JP doesn't cry. I'm for making JP cry.
Well, we'll do it. Guys,
It sounds like that we really want them to come in, and we really don't care if they keep their duchies and baronies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just that the corpora says no, and we have to go through the stupid logistics of changing the corpora first. I think Skiffy's proposal is good, but at the same time, there's nothing preventing the Circle of Monarchs meeting before the Althing to vote them in and letting them retain their
Yes,
status.
there
Wait,
is.
hold on.
Our
Let me
Kapora
finish. Let them retain their stuff pending the Althing change. So if the Althing doesn't agree to change it, then they wouldn't come in or whatever, or they wouldn't retain their stuff. But you could always have the COM say, okay, we vote them to come in to change their stuff pending that we agree to change it on the Althing tomorrow. And with a condition that happens if the Althing changes and go tomorrow, which it sounds like it will, there's no dissenting voices on that.
Skippy.
Our Kapora also specifies, or our bylaws do, I can't remember which one. BOD votes, and then at the next event, the COM votes. So
Okay.
that would need to be fixed.
Which is
This
part
is
of why I
not
want.
shooting down your
Can the
ideas, just,
BOD vote before the event?
no.
not without the Althing
I would
saying
really
that they want to
prefer
come
not
here.
I really
Can
prefer
the BOD vote before that then? Like,
Well, their vote's not until October anyway.
okay.
So our
So
vote is
I
only
don't-
a week or two.
There's
We know
there's
2
no
weeks before
reason
your
to hold a BOD meeting. There's no reason to break it that much, considering our Kapora is already set up this way.
They are prepared to wait till March for everything. We are prepared for it. We've talked about this for a while. I think
Yeah.
that everyone's on the same page. They want in, we want them in. We're going to follow the proper procedures and make this legitimate as best we can.
Yeah.
You know, I want as little international, like, look at the Rising Winds being a giant dumpster fire again. Like, we need to stop that shit.
But
And
to
I
be honest,
prefer not to
I'll-
reorganize the schedule of 5 different meetings
Right.
just to weird up the Kapora when we can just make our Kapora say, we can fix this, and COM can vote in 4 months or whatever.
Smart.
Just a clarifying question. The only issues with this are issues we've self-imposed on
Yes.
ourselves.
Yes.
When we
Amcard
nuked
wide, we're
Kapora,
perfectly
yeah,
good to
Amcard wide,
go.
we're good.
We're just trying to figure out our
Yeah.
own rules, lawyers.
Everyone else is
So-
cool. We're just trying to figure out our own sandbox.
And Golden Vale understands, like, there are obviously people who are continuously no voting us having voting rights, but the
Just change our corpora
people
to
who
we
are
do what we
involved in
want.
the kingdom do understand, and the king has already given us permission to go as we please.
All right. So anything else?
One real quick thing, because about that, one of the reasons why we can't have an Althing vote just to temporarily, like, just to allow them to join, is because our corpora is listed above precedence of all things. So if our corpora specifies this is how we do things, we cannot have an Althing vote that changes that temporarily for one item.
Yeah.
We have to actually do a corpora change. So I don't know. This is the first time we've had a corpora say this, because we've always been able to actually literally have an Althing vote.
We haven't.
No, the last one did.
Well, I mean,
the last report did not.
Oh, did not?
Let's
No.
play
Yeah.
more.
Okay, but anyway.
So this is this is a new thing for us that we can't have an Althing vote to say, okay, no, this is how we're doing this for this.
Yeah.
No, we did do that in the past. We're just breaking the report.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cat.
But anyway.
Donnie.
I have new business if we're done.
Oh,
Okay, Cat.
Oh yeah.
Let me get a keyboard.
One thing that I see a lot of misinterpretation on, and a lot of people, it does actually say in our corpora that Prince Fellows can vote, but they cannot run for Kingdom Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
We know.
we already
We
cleared it.
we clarified that.
Are we good on this
I
one?
think we cleared it right before you got over here, sorry.
Yeah. Okay,
We're
so
good on this.
we good?
Yep.
Yes.
Next thing.
Donnie.
First, I propose that Noah is banned from making like proposals for the Althing.
Okay.
You laugh,
And
but I
second of all,
actually-
Cads must bring a TLDR for any statement he intends to make on an Althing.
Seconded.
He's not nearly as bad as Amdir though.
I'm not talking.
Seconded.
That's other new business.
Yeah, I said
I
he shall
second.
not be named.
And I motion to
Joking,
close.
I honestly don't want Noah to be
Seconded.
making puzzles anymore. Like, that was silly.
No, I already seconded. So, motion to vote.
All right. It was seconded. So those in favor? All right.
Noah not make proposals.
Okay, wait, hold on.
In favor?
In favor.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I would actually bring up something for discussion.
This is also new business that has to be voted on next Althing.
All right. Yeah.
you
fuck
get
off.
voted on
Oh,
now.
shit. Yeah.
Motion to close. Oh, wait, does anyone have
Seconded.
anything?
That means he can bring up
Anything else?
something for the next
I'd actually
Althing.
like to bring up something. The Monarch can actually throw things out of the Althing.
Yeah, I know.
Prior to the
He
Althing,
did,
though.
he
No,
is.
prior
He
to
just
the
did.
Althing, you can do it.
He did it before he got here.
I'm
Where were
looking
you?
at Kai for putting on the Noah thing.
YOLO.
Anyway,
Yeah.
motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second,
Second.
fourth,
See y'all.
fifth.
See you fucks in November.